In order to become human, this vampire had to sleep in a coffin for 100 years. Before he fell asleep, he instructed his 2 servants to come here to fetch him on the day of the 100th year. Then he instructed the butler to guard the house for generations. After arranging everything, he held a mirror in his hand. He lay down in his coffin. Time flies, only 1 day short of 100 years. But that night, a woman broke into the house. She snuck into the basement. She opened the coffin inside. Looking at the man inside, the woman froze in her tracks. At that moment, the man opened his eyes, and the candle in the room was lit. Looking at the hand sticking out of the coffin, the woman was instantly terrified. When she heard this, the woman was dumbfounded. She had no idea what he was talking about. It turns out that during the man's slumber, a lot of things happened. His 2 servants had a miserable life. Tashikawa became a rice cake seller. The other servant became a soothsayer. The man's housekeeper's son disappeared 5 years ago. He's still missing. That's why the housekeeper's granddaughter doesn't know anything about him. The housekeeper's granddaughter is named Lisa. Just 1 day ago, a lawyer came to Lisa, claiming that his father had been missing for 5 years, so he was legally declared dead. According to the client's will, Lisa was entitled to her inheritance. Among them was the old house. Looking at the key to the mansion, Lisa decided to take a look, but when she arrived at the house, she saw a coffin. Driven by curiosity, Lisa lifted up the coffin, but what she didn't expect was, there was a man lying inside. Seeing this scene, Lisa was stunned. The man's name was David. He is a 1,000-year-old vampire. The reason why he wanted to become a human, because hundreds of years ago, he fell in love with a human woman. He had a happy life, but it didn't last. Vampire hunters found David. The woman tried to save David. She deflected the arrows that came at him, and when he saw that, David was outraged. He instantly turned into a vampire, killed all the vampire hunters. A vampire who's been alive for 1,000 years. The first time he walked into a human shopping mall, he was attracted by the clothes in the clothing store. He immediately turned into a shopping maniac. He went on a shopping spree and bought a bunch of clothes, but when it came time to pay, David was confused. He didn't have any money to pay. That's when he remembered Lisa's wallet. With the credit card, David became even more reckless. He not only bought a cell phone and a pair of Bluetooth headphones. On the other hand, Lisa came out of the police station. She was about to take the bus home, but then she realized her wallet was gone, and her cell phone was out of battery. She had no choice but to walk back to the mansion, but when she got home, she met David.
잠깐. 그게 다 뭐예요?
한도 초과라는.
When she found out the news, Lisa was devastated. David had maxed out her credit card. She wanted to beat David to death. The more Lisa thought about it, the angrier she got. She's had headphones for years. One of them was still broken. She didn't even want to get new ones. And then she didn't realize. David took her card and spent it all.
나 좀 물어줄래요? 뱀파이어한테 물리면 죽는 거 맞죠? 전세금 날린 것도 황당해 죽겠는데 상속받은 집에 뱀파이어가 살고 있질 않나? 그 뱀파이어가 내 카드를 써댈까? 이게 죽으라는 거지 뭐야?
Seeing Lisa like this, David told her, before he laid down in the coffin, he had prepared for everything. This vampire has been alive for 1,000 years. I can't believe I can't escape the fate of going to work. In order to pay off his credit cards, he works several jobs every day. During the day, he worked as a milkman. At night, he worked as a funeral parlor attendant. Because of the long hours of labor, he became dizzy and lightheaded. In order to replenish his strength, he took over the coffin of the deceased. He slept directly in it. Not long ago, David was delivering clothes to a buyer, only to find out when he arrived at the place, the buyer was his own servant.
너지.
뭐가요?
내 관 밑에 묻어둔 금덩이. 네가 해먹었지.
Hearing this, Harmonious denied it immediately. Seeing Harmonious did not admit, David didn't ask any more questions. Harmonious then took David to the rice cake seller Dongshi. After 100 years of waiting, the 3 brothers were finally reunited. To celebrate the return of the boss, Donsing took out the blood he couldn't afford to drink. He was going to give the boss a boost of energy.
한장 쭉 드릴게요, 형님. 나는요, 우열 형님만 이기고 나는 주둥이야 뭐야? 치사하네 진짜로.
David told his 2 servants about the events of the past few days. Dongshi felt sorry for himself. He thought that he didn't take good care of the boss. But when he heard that David wanted to borrow $5 million, the 2 servants immediately changed their faces.
내 정신 좀 봐서 떡볶이 올려놨는데 씨. 저는 언제나 늘 비집게 돼요.
On the other hand, Lisa, with the help of Mr. Michishij, Lisa moved the stuff from the rented house back to the old mansion. At that moment, David also returned home.
누구 안녕하시오. 우리 집엔 어쩐 일이?
저희 조상님하고 잘 아는 분인데 사정이 생겨서 잠시 여기서 지내고 계세요.